Thank you for joining us for this episode of Beverly-Hanks TV, helping you to live the life you choose in Western North Carolina. Today we are visiting one of the crown jewels of Western North Carolina, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I'm here in one of the original structures of the park, which is visited by more than 9 million people each year, making this the most visited national park in the United States. Real estate is about so much more than four walls and a roof. It's about how a community really lives. It's about a lifestyle. Our agents are intimately familiar with the communities they work in. They eat at the restaurants, they dedicate their time to the nonprofits, they play in these mountains. This is all right here in our backyard, which is why many consider Waynesville to be the perfect place to live the ideal mountain lifestyle, being equally distant from the regional center of Asheville and this incredible national park.
Down below us you'll see the hemlock trees. They are what cause the Smokies. Hemlocks will wick. Water comes out of the stem and the needles of a hemlock tree, and that causes a haze that gave the Smokies its name.
Thanks for being with us today.
Thank
Tell me
you.
about your family, because I know y'all have been here for a long time.
Well, we have. Both of my grandparents were members of the original settlers in Cataloochee Valley, Palmers and Woodies. The valley was first settled in the 1830s, and slowly people started coming in. In fact, there were so many people that in 1910, the census showed 1,250 people were in the valley living here.
Wow.
They had a church, they had a school, they had a couple of small stores, so it was a prosperous, thriving community.
What happened to the families that lived here?
Well, the national park came, which now comprises about 510,000 acres or about 800 square miles of park. And that was in the mid-1930s when the park came. My grandfather was one of the very last to move out. He moved out in 1942, but then the war was on and it was very hard to live back here.
Looking around here, it's so beautiful, all the vegetation and trees. Tell me about that.
Well, it is. I mean, this is the second most biodiverse place on the planet. The Smokies are. It is amazing. 136 different species of trees in the Smokies. For instance, in Europe, I think only has about 7.
And I know the Friends of the Smokies that you're very involved with has had a big part in preserving everything.
We've been in business about 20 years, and since then we've given the park over $20 million to help preserve this place.
Tell me about the elk that were reintroduced here.
Elk lived in eastern America until about 1800. There were elk everywhere, and that's where you see all these elk names, like Elk River and Elk Mountain came from. The herd now is about 160 animals. And if you come to Cataloochee, particularly late in the afternoon, you'll see them grazing in the fields. It's a very popular activity.
I know a lot of people love to come do that. And what else do they like to come to the park to do?
Everything. It's a great place to picnic like we just did, a great place to hike, or just come and stroll, or sit by a stream and read a book, or visit some of these old structures and learn the history of the area. You can hike, you can camp, you can fish. Little kids love it here, particularly playing in the creek.
Thank you so much for giving us your fascinating history. It's been really interesting.
Well, you're welcome. And you know, the whole history of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park is interesting. Now, obviously, I think Cataloochee Valley is the prettiest place and the most historic, but if you travel all over the park, it's an amazing thing to see. And you can spend a lifetime seeing the beautiful Smoky Mountains in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Real estate in our region will always be coveted because of the rich cultural history and unmatched beauty we enjoy here. For more information on how you can live the life you choose in Western North Carolina, ask your Beverly-Hanks broker associate or go to beverlyhanks.com.